I found out that when I was at a young age, probably around 11, that there were YouTubers that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and I was just like, "Oh, that's it." Like,
So it's the money.
yeah, of course, because back then we didn't have money, and I really wanted to take care of my mom and just my family in general. So it was like everything. It was like this is what I love doing. I've never had as much joy doing something as I do this. Plus, I could see a path where I could actually retire my mom, take care of her, pay her back for all the nights she worked so long, so we could um, live comfortably and things like that. So it's just kind of the thing is, I've one thing that irks me is when people try to like put someone's motivation into like one little
Mm,
bucket. Like we're very complex creatures, and like you have a girlfriend. I would never say, oh, you just like her because she's pretty,
mm,
but you like her because she's pretty. But you probably also like her because she's smart. You probably also like her because she's fun to be around. She likes similar shows. Blah blah. You probably, if we sat here for 10 hours, you could probably give me 1,000 reasons why you like your girlfriend.
yeah.
So it's like it's very annoying when people try to put why you like doing a certain job or building a certain business into one bucket. Oh, you
Mm,
just do it because of money. What if I do it because I like money and I enjoy it? And it's a way to do this, and it's a way to communicate with people and community and these other things. You know what I
mm,
mean? And I think that's a common flaw we try to do. It's
mm.
like, it's not that simple.
I think it's a lot of people can't understand someone being so relentlessly focused on something with the level of like commitment and sustained commitment that you've shown.
Yeah.
And so,
And I don't know how
you know what I mean?
I agree because it's very weird, like how like I have extreme obsession to the point where like I just think about stuff the same. Like for me, it's much easier to think about something 16 hours a day for 7 days straight than it is like to like gear shift constantly. I'm like really good at just obsessing over one thing more than anyone else on the planet. If I were to say what's my superpower, it's that I can just obsess endlessly about something and I can just have the same thoughts over and over and over and over again. It's very weird. Like it wasn't like it was work for me grinding YouTube for those 10 years or whatever where no one was really watching it. It's just like kind of who I am.
It would have had to have been a deep obsession because you were
Yeah.
doing it when no one was really watching or paying attention, or really when the platform was.
There was literally a day when I was 19 or 20 where I woke up, joined a Skype call with my friends, and where we like were reverse engineering, why certain videos do well or whatever. And I remember that call being over 18 hours long. And then I hung up, went to bed, woke back up the next day, and instantly got back on the call and picked back. Like that was the level of like hours we were putting in. I mean, I didn't know anything besides just trying to make it happen.
Was there anything else that you showed that level of obsession to?
So at that age, no. From I would say from 11 to 11 to 15, it was a mix of YouTube and baseball. But when I turned 15, I got Crohn's and I went from like 190 pounds down to 139. I lost all the muscle I had, and so I was like, all right, I'm not playing baseball in college anymore. So then I was like, fuck it, it's just all in on YouTube and then up until really Feastables, it was basically just YouTube. For whatever, I never thought I would find like this kind of love for I thought it was specifically video making, but I have found over like the last 2 or 3 years, just in general, I just enjoy entrepreneurship, and I've been really deeply loving getting like obsessed with Feastables and other things, and so which was very weird. Like when I first started a chocolate company, it was like kind of a side thing. But the more I started to work on it, I got a lot of the same highs I got when I was making videos, just in different ways. And so now I'm like, I know way too much about the chocolate industry. I'm like, it's pretty crazy. I never imagined I would have put the thousands of hours I've poured into building Feastables. And so I think just in general, I just really love solving consistent, complex, hard problems. I think that's like what gets me out of bed. And like the harder the problems, the more exciting it is.
Consistent, hard problems. I want to talk about that and also Feastables, but you mentioned Crohn's disease there.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know what that is
Yeah.
and the impact it has on someone's life.
Are you aware of it?
I am because I had a team member that had it.
Oh, wow.
So, in order to help support them at certain times when they had to leave and stuff like that, I got a little bit more aware of what it means and how it impacts you. But could you give me your perspective on that?
Yeah. So Crohn's disease is when your immune system attacks itself. So yeah, when I was 15, I just started going to the bathroom 8, 9, 10 times a day, not digesting any food because my GI tract is like literally just attacking itself. It's very weird. Your immune system in your gut thinks your gut is a foreign invader. And so it just starts attacking itself, which if you're just using the bathroom 10 times a day, not digesting food, that's why you drop weight rapidly and it hurts like crazy because it gets very inflamed and it feels like someone's stabbing you in the gut with like a knife constantly when it's really, really bad, which is what I had. So I lost 50 pounds, which is crazy because I was already relatively lanky. And we were just trying different medicine. And then eventually I'm on a pretty extreme medicine called Remicade, where it just basically you nuke your immune system, which is why my voice sounds a little off right now because I just got the flu. I got COVID 6 times. I got shingles. Like I get sick all the time because for me to have my GI tract stop attacking itself, we basically have to shut down my immune system. So I have like a really weak immune system. So I just get sick all the time. Like, so I have like random rashes and things like that. So it's like, it was pretty brutal, to be honest, and then it randomly flares up sometimes and just makes you very sick, very tired, like, I just live life on hard mode, to be honest, like, if you wake up and you have energy, like, you're already leaps and bounds ahead of me, like, it's makes things way more difficult.
And so you still wake up with some days where you don't have energy,
Of course,
which is
yeah.
really hard to believe for someone who's so productive for everybody looking on.
Yeah, it's you just gotta really love what you do, I mean, and push through it. It's pretty brutal because then you compound that with always being sick, and, I mean, yeah, I just spent 4 days in a hospital in South Africa because I got the flu, and it just takes me a lot longer to recover from certain things, so, um, it's brutal, and that's where it's like, if I didn't work so much, I would spend more time researching Crohn's because surely there's a better way to stop it than just destroying my immune system, and ideally, I don't do that deep into my 30s and 40s, so I
Yeah.
see it as a little bit of a Band-Aid, but, I've met with the top Crohn's doctors in the world, and so far they're like, "This is just the answer, and you're just lucky your, gut isn't attacking yourself." Um, so, but I don't know. I feel like the medicine they give people with Crohn's is kinda silly, and there's gotta be a better way to treat it. I mean, the ultimate solution is they just cut me open and cut out a large part of my GI tract, and then there you go, but, you know
I observed in the team member that I had that had Crohn's just a bit of a mental roller coaster as well because there's a certain unpredictability to it,
exactly.
which makes life.
Oh, it's even worse when you're filming because you got this huge multi-million dollar set and 200 people waiting on you. And, sometimes you don't know if you're going to have a flare, but you just got to go fuck it and just down some caffeine and crank it out.
I got diagnosed with ADHD.
You did?
Yeah, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and it made me think a lot about myself and the way that I am. It's not. I'm not the type of person to like embody the label or think it really means much. I
Yeah.
am just who I am. Have you? Are you in any way neurodivergent?
I've been told, yeah, by a doctor I have ADHD. I mean, I'm not surprised because I just sit and obsess over things constantly. But I think I'm happy with however my brain is wired. I don't really care to change it. I like I said, I think one of my greatest superpowers is my obsession, and I think some people would view that as a weakness. But I just like if you just think about solving problems 3 times more than everyone else, like you're bound to come up with different solutions.
That's one of the things you mentioned earlier. You like solving hard problems consistently. When you think back over the last 10 years of your life and the success you've had solving some of these hard problems, if you were to like break it down into some core components of
Mhm.
that you've learned, one of them is obsession that you've said.
Yeah.
What are the others?
I mean, it's all the typical stuff. Like you are obviously who you surround yourself with, and luckily I just got around the right people in my later teenage years because I feed off the energy of the people probably around me. It's so obvious. Like I start to talk like them. I become interested in the things they're interested in. I mean, this is all obvious stuff. I'm sure you've heard a bajillion times. So, but just gotta, always have to be protective of the people I'm around because whatever they say is what I start thinking on. And then that's what I start obsessing over. And, one of the best things that happened with Feastables is I just reached out to all the fastest growing chocolate companies, all the fastest growing snack businesses and everything, and just became friends with a lot of the founders. And, that's what would have probably taken me 8, 9 years to like solve. After 18 months, it was probably one of the top 10 people in the world when it comes to
Mhm.
running a chocolate company and understanding it deeply just because it's just cheat codes. Um,
What about detail? Sweating the small stuff. One of the things that I saw, I was reading that handbook that was
oh yeah,
leaked on the internet, and one of the
yeah,
things I saw throughout that was this real obsession with the 1%
yeah.
and the small stuff. How do you feel about this, by the way, and all of that stuff?
I wrote that with some of my employees when I was probably 22. So there are some things that I'm like, I read, I'm like, oh wow, I was an idiot. But for the most part, most of it still stands the test of time.